RPG Fantasy Sports Report. We're having some controller issues, so minor technical difficulties. So I have to get up and do things manually. It's really pissing me off. Merry Christmas. Christmas Eve, week 16. A lot of good things happening. I'm RPG, Scrooge Burgundy here. It's championship week. I know it's late. It's Friday night. You might not be able to see this. You got celebrating Christmas tomorrow, but it's championship week. This is why you did the mock drafts. This is why you made good trades, hit up the wire, and this is the week. It doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. So you set yourself up for this week. My advice to you before we get into anything, don't overthink it. Don't worry about who your opponent's playing. Don't worry about that kind of stuff. I know there's a tendency to do it. I do it. Everybody does it. People ask me questions. Well, I've got this defense, but they're playing against this guy. Don't worry about it. Just put your best team out there, and that's all you can do. You can't control what they're going to score. I mean, who knew Aaron Rodgers was going to get hurt 2 games ago? Who knew that AP wasn't going to play? You know how many teams probably lost because of that? So just put your best team in and just let it roll. But congratulations if you're in the finals. If you made it and you have AP, that's pretty amazing. That means you probably backed him up with Gerhardt. And what have I hit on so many times this year is back up your studs. And it's more prevalent this week than any other week. And, of course, it's the biggest week. Hopefully, if you're an AP owner, you had Gerhardt, you were able to plug him in, or you got really lucky, got a 0 from AP, and you advanced. So, got to back up your studs. I mean, it's a bit redundant now, but, I mean, you're lucky Arian Foster is going to play this week. But if this happened earlier in the season, you get worried that maybe he'd get re-injured. Obviously, AP. And I got another guy here that's super huge, so you got to back up your studs. And I'm assuming if you're in this position here, you either did, or you're getting really lucky, or you just got a lot of skilled players. So there are some serious injuries. You know, we seem to skip them through the middle of the season, but there are serious injuries, all of them happening within the last couple days, that are going to affect all lineups. Well, if you have these guys. Maurice Jones-Drew, I read something today, barring a huge miracle, he's going to be out. If you can pick up Rashard Jennings, get him. I don't know, once the Thursday games start, you might not be able to pick up. One league I can, one league I can't. Go get him. He's a top 18 guy, top 20 guy this week. Go get him. If you backed him up and you were smart, that's even better. But Drew doesn't look like he's going to play. Jennings is going to be huge this week. Noshawn Moreno, he's questionable. He has practiced a little bit this week. He's real fragile. I worry about the fact that he's not going to play a full complement of downs, and that's definitely something you don't want to mess with this last week of the season. So if you start him, just be careful. AP, we've already talked about him. Hopefully you got Gerhardt, and hopefully you're able to play him. It's a Sunday night game again, so you're going to get jammed. You can't really look at it. People probably ain't going to practice tomorrow because it's obviously Christmas, so you're taking a risk. If you have Gerhardt, yeah, start AP because you can plug Gerhardt in if not. But if you don't have Gerhardt and you didn't handcuff him, I don't think you want to get a 0 from him two weeks in a row. And I don't know if he's going to play. It's really hit or miss. They're not playing for anything at this point, so he's seriously questionable. Joseph Adai, practicing full this week. I don't see him getting a lot of carries. Don't play him, but that does hurt Donald Brown this week. Even if Adai gets 5 to 6 to 7 carries, that's going to hurt Brown, who had a great week last week, but it's done nothing beforehand. So Brown's no better than a flex, and I wouldn't touch Adai unless you hear something crazy that he's going to get a full complement of running downs, and I don't think he is. Andre Johnson, I read this today. Good chance he sits. That's straight from Kubiak. Now, that really doesn't mean anything because there's a good chance he'll sit every week. He's had this ankle injury the whole time, but Houston's out of it. He may not play. He's been getting shots to be able to play during the day, but he would be killer if he can't play. So watch him. Mike Sims Walker also out. Jaguars playing for a playoff, and they're losing guys by the dozens. Malcolm Floyd doubtful. I wouldn't play him. Hamstrings are just a BITCH. And Antonio Gates out. So those injuries are all huge. I mean, Gates and Floyd, they've sort of been, even in a die, you've been dealing with those. But these other guys, huge. Potentially huge, huge, huge. So if you've gotten this far, you've made some smart moves. And with these injuries, though, guys get better value. Guys like Rashard Jennings, Toby Gerhardt, Blair White, Jacoby Jones, Owen Daniels, Kevin Walter, Mercedes Lewis, Kevin Boss. These guys have all stepped up or could step up because of these injuries. So when you got guys like Andre Johnson and Maurice Jones-Drew, and you've ridden them the whole year, and there's a real chance they're not going to play, or at least Jones-Drew's case, he's not going to play, you got to do what you got to do. If you can pick up Jennings, like I said, do so. So, again, don't overthink things. Stuff happens. I lost by 0.7 last week in my league because Brandon Marshall lateraled the ball at the end of the game. About the worst way I can think of losing. I had another buddy lose on the sack and fumble in the Patriots game against Green Bay last week. So, crazy things can happen. Start your best lineup. I think if you're listening to this or watching this, you're in the finals. I'm just a guide at this point. You've done the right things and continue to do so. Don't second guess anything. Look at weather. If it's super windy, you want to look at that stuff. You want to analyze those things, but don't overthink it and talk yourself out of it and then start. So I did this last year. I started Vince Young on Christmas instead of McNabb because he had such a great matchup, and I lost in the finals because of it. And I second-guessed it, and I flip-flopped all the way to the end, and that's no good. So I want to say if you've gotten this far, good luck. Ron Burgundy says good luck. I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, all that good stuff. We've got a lot of presents to open tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to it. So enjoy Sunday. Don't let it monopolize your day. I know I'm playing for third place in one of my leagues, but I've had a good season. I'll probably pop in next week, even though I don't think Week 17 should matter with most people. But, some leagues play all the way through 17 weeks, so I will pop in next week. But this is the big week. So good luck to everybody if you're playing for a consolation. If you're playing for anything, good luck. I'm RPG, Ron Burgundy. Merry Christmas. I'll talk to you soon. RPG's out.